Welcome everyone back to After Curfew Interviews with Kyle. I hope you're having a great day, and this is the third installment of our interview series. And I think I'm getting used to saying the I guess our title or our name of our interview series. I'm getting used to it, but yeah, it's gonna take some time to get used to it. But yeah, welcome back to After Curfew Interviews with Kyle. Now, today I am joined by two people actually. Now, I have with me my friends and guests, Melody and Quinn. Quinn, Melody, can you say hi?
That's the
Hello.
yes. It's
Now,
nice to introduce you.
yeah, Quinn, could you? I guess we'll start with Quinn. Introduce yourself.
Uh, well, my name is Quinton. As already said, I do Twitch. I do other things. Newly installed content creator, so I'm just doing that.
Mhm.
Um, I'm just trying to do find myself a little bit, do what I love. I'm trying to find out what's good in my department.
Right.
So that's basically what I'm doing.
Well, yeah, it's great having you, Quinn. Now, Melody, could you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Uh, sure. My name is Melody. I'm 19. I've been friends with Quentin for about 4 years. I'm also a moderator for his Twitch account, so help him out.
Well, yeah, that's great, I guess. Now, so Quentin, and Melody, we normally like to
Hmm.
start our interviews with, I guess you could say,
Mhm.
like a mindful quote, just to get conversation going. And I feel like quotes are the best way to start a conversation because there's so many different ways you can interpret it, and it really gets you thinking. So
Hmm.
now I've prepared a quote, and
Okay.
if you know anything about my interview series in the podcast, you know I'm not the greatest at finding authors to quotes, and it's repeated again, unfortunately.
Mhm.
I can't find an author, but I do have a good quote. I do have a good quote. So
Let's hear it.
alright, so the quote today is: "The only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle." How would you interpret that? And whoever would like to go first can go first. But,
Yeah, I guess. I guess I'll go first. For that quote, I feel like that should be kind of a basis for kind of everybody's life. If you're doing something that you don't enjoy, even
mhm,
if it's for money or whatever else, no matter what this for, no matter where you are, you should have some sort of uh, happiness where you are. If that's not
right,
bringing you some type of emotional support, whatever you're doing, then it's not helping you. It's obviously not worth
yeah,
it. So just keep going until you find something that you stick with and you love.
enjoy. Yeah, I
Hmm.
totally agree. Melody, do you have a view on that? Or
But yeah, the way I see it is somewhat the same as Quentin. You're never gonna, if you're just doing something just to do it, you're not really going to give it your all. You're not going to be motivated to accomplish it, and you're just gonna give your 50% of it. You're not going to put all your focus and thoughts into it, so it will never come out as the best as it could possibly be. And that can be in life. You're never going to be fully happy with what you're given or what you're settled with. So you shouldn't settle with it. You should try and find something that actually makes you happy and excited to look forward for it and not
right,
be bad about doing it.
right. Pretty much find something that you enjoy to do. Would you
Yeah.
say that's a good summary of? Okay, yeah, and I totally agree. In life, if you don't enjoy what you're doing, there really is no point in doing it because life is only so long, you know. You
Mhm.
only have one life, so you gotta make the most of it, I guess, and I guess live it up and do what you love, because time flies really fast.
You never know when it's gonna be your last day.
Yeah, and I feel like it's the truth. It's reality. I mean, it's tough to think about it that way, but I feel like that's the only way that will actually make you open up your eyes and be like, well, okay, well, am I really liking what I'm doing? Like,
Yeah.
when and something I live by, it's like, don't die with all of your ideas standing at your grave, because I don't want to die knowing that I had all these different ideas that I could have pursued and would have worked, and I could have made an impact even, but I never really pursued it, and it just kind of stayed locked away. So well, you're doing yourself, you're doing yourself, like, you're kind of letting yourself down and the world, because if this is like a big impact that you could have had, then they missed out.
Yeah, it's just a waste.
Yeah.
It's literally just a waste.
It's really waste, yeah. So
And then later on, you're just gonna regret not being able to do what you wanted to do.
right, exactly. Yeah, so that was our quote segment. You guys, great outputs. This was one of my favorite quote segments that we've had so far. That was very good output. Now I want to talk a little bit, and mainly towards Quentin here, but Quentin, I know you do Twitch, right? And
Yeah.
you've kind of on the rise. You're a small creator, right? And I looked at some of your content, and I do with all of the people who come on. But something I noticed differently is that your content is very, I guess you could say, engaging. I guess you stream. Do you have like a set stream schedule, or?
As of right now, I've been trying to, I guess, trying to find one really, because I have, school. I'm in school right now, and then pretty soon I'm gonna be working, so that's gonna leave a little bit, not enough time to stream, but kind of enough time. So as of right now, no, I don't have like a pure schedule.
Well, out of and I don't stream, so you don't have to take my advice too seriously. But I've interviewed a lot of people who have done the Twitch stuff, and there's something that seems very prominent and repetitive, I guess, is that they all have a set stream schedule, and I feel like it really helps them know, okay, well, this is the time I'm gonna stream, and then this is when this is gonna happen, and I won't schedule anything that's like before that or after it,
Yeah.
or that might conflict. So I feel like a stream schedule does help. So
Oh yeah,
you
yeah.
you should definitely look into one.
No, yeah, 100%. I agree. It's just, having a schedule. You got to take a lot of factors into
Right.
account. It's not, it's not just like, oh, if you stream at like 10 or like from 10 to 12, that's, you got to know, are people normally up during that time? Are people normally watching Twitch during that time? You just have to revolve it around what you're producing and who you're showing your content to.
Right. Yeah, understanding your viewers.
Yeah.
And yeah, I totally agree. That's great. Now, I'm gonna ask you a little, because you already have somewhat of a following, and I guess the most prominent question is, how did you amass your following?
I mean, for myself as a small creator, I'm just gonna try to. It took a while, and I'm just gonna say I'm just gonna try to get it as quick as possible. But it started out with me having support from people like Melody here. She was one of the actually very first people to really support me when I started streaming. I have other friends as well. I have one of my inspirations for streaming is one of my friends. His name is Diego. He streams as well, and he's doing very, very well. But with my following, it started out with just friends and a little bit of family, and then I started broadcasting and branching out on social medias like Instagram and Snapchat and things like that, which slowly kind of built me up to what I'm at now.
Well, yeah, it's great, and
Yeah.
yeah, branching out is always a good idea because I mean, occasionally people are able to one platform and just boom on that, but most of the time it's probably a good idea to have like a second social media to attract more viewers. Now,
Yeah.
Melody, I
Mm-hmm.
understand that you don't exactly do the whole social media thing, but could you tell us just a little bit about like hobbies you do or anything like that?
My hobbies include that I do a lot of just paintings and experimenting with art such as clay, sculpting, trying out different types of mediums for art.
Oh, yeah, artists. I mean, I feel like during quarantine, I feel like art has become something that a lot of people have picked up because they have not much to do, and it's kind of relaxing to draw and paint. And you know, you mentioned clay sculpting. That's very cool. I have a lot of respect to anyone who can do art because I was never really given that artistic ability. So people who can paint or draw or create, like even you said clay sculptures, that's pretty cool for me.
Well, I mean, I do got that art department in me, but I also, to replace that, I'm not very good at math or science. So you take one or you lose some.
Well, you know, I mean, I'm not trying to get into math or any school subjects, but
I don't
you
want to
know,
get into that either.
but I mean, math is I feel like it's like repetition. It's a lot of just if you know it, you know it, and if you don't, you don't.
Oh
So
yeah.
Yeah, lots of
keep it going.
formulas.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Not
really quickly
very
try
heavily.
and drag myself out of this sinking hole that I've probably brought myself into here.
The next topic
No, you're
is.
good.
Yeah. Well, I have another question here, and now the past two interviews we've talked a little bit about mental health and how with quarantine and like feeling lonely, it's mental health is even more prominent nowadays. And what would you say your views are on the whole thing about mental health and all that?
You want me to go first, or you wanna? Okay, I'll just go.
You can go.
For regarding mental health, I feel like for this day and age, especially when you're a teenager and even when you're a little bit older, that's one of the key points and places where it determines how you react to things, determines how it just shapes you, you know. So if you're not good in that area, you're just gonna suffer literally everywhere else. And regarding we have this epidemic going on and this outbreak, so it's just everyone's closed in. There's minimal human interaction other than with your family. It's just it. Everyone is going downhill mentally, if not slowly. You know. Just to give a little, I guess, personal attachment to it. When I was I was in college in person. I went on campus, and we couldn't interact with literally anybody. You know, we couldn't talk to really each other. They tried to keep it to a minimum, and it was I would return to my room. I didn't have a roommate just for different reasons, and I would return to my room, and it would just be so just I just want to say dreadful. I just didn't want to return to it. I didn't want to be alone.
Right.
You know, I like my alone time, but this was different.
Yeah.
You know, it's too much. So right now, I feel like next to COVID, we need to really prioritize our mental health and how this whole thing's like affecting us, because you know, it could end up very bad, like worse than it already it already is so far.
Right. Yeah. Uh, yeah, with quarantine and corona, it's you really gotta make sure your mentals, like, I guess your mental state is all in check because you know, you have to be happy. You have to be
Yeah.
I guess not happy. What's the word? I guess at least just keep
Um,
positive outlook. I guess because mental health is very
Hmm.
real, and I feel like
and it can be
we've talked about
suffocating.
it. Yeah, it's exactly, it can be suffocating. So make sure at least look on the positive side of everything in
As much
quarantine,
as you
and
can.
yeah, as
Mhm.
lonely as you may feel, I mean, always know there's people out there that care for you and look out for you, and
Yeah.
that it's not just about you, I guess.
Hmm.
Melody, I know I totally
Mhm.
forgot. I kind of skipped over you. So,
It's totally
do
fine.
you
It's
have a
okay.
outlook on it? Or
I just all that I know from mental health was my own researching and people speaking out about it.
mm,
Like going into high school, we're not really taught about mental health, and if we are, it's just basically a summary of what bad mental health can be, and it just skims it over. And I just feel like when you're in high school, your hormones and all your thoughts are not, in check. They're not at balanced at the right moment. You're much more emotionally fragile at that point. You're insecure. Everything's, messing up your body, better for the worse. And I just don't like how people have to find out about mental health through doing their own research. I feel like it should be just normalized in schools and kids should know what it is about so they can know about
right,
it. And I come from a Hispanic household where it's even worse than public school learning, where you're not depressed, you're just sad at the moment. They don't believe in actual mental health. The only ones who truly believe in mental health in Hispanic households are American Hispanics, right? Like they were born in America, they grew up with American culture, so they know about what mental health is. And you kind of have to be quiet in the household about if you have depression or not, because they're just going to criticize you and tell you to get over it. And I feel like that's just a very bad environment for someone who is in a bad mental state to be in.
right. You want a supportive, I guess supporting cast, and
Yeah. You don't want
yeah,
someone criticizing you and like
right,
downplaying your mental health.
right. I mean, yeah, that's I would agree. I mean, and sometimes your parents or your family, they might just not understand, but and it's fine. I mean, they still love you. Remember that. They still care for you and they still love you, but it's just they might not fully understand, and
Yeah, it's
that's
just
okay.
not
I
what
mean,
they grew up with.
right, that's not what they grew up with. They're not accustomed to it. So
Mhm.
and that's okay. You just gotta learn to, I guess, accept it just a little, but yeah, as frustrating as it may be, just know that there are people that care for you and look out for you. So even if you feel lonely, you're not alone. So yeah, that's the main thing.
Hmm.
And now, I think my last question I really have for you guys is, I guess the last interview I did, we talked a little bit about inspiration, and who you draw a lot of your inspiration from, or I guess who really motivates you, or who you look up to, role models. And do you guys have any role models, I guess?
Um, For me personally, when it comes to, I just don't want to stem it from normal everyday life, because I there's not me personally. I I take I don't have that many, but when it comes to content creating with Twitch, I tend to look at other streamers, um like Pay Money Wumby, Moist, people like that who are some of my favorite streamers, XQC, people like that who I take who I would sit down and just observe and watch and just die laughing. I take my biggest inspirations from them when it comes to when it comes to streaming, and even in my own my own artistic field. I do I take big inspirations and emotionally, mentally, from how they create, how they talk, from how they carry themselves, and it just has helped me a decent amount coming
Right.
into the Twitch and Twitch world, you know.
Right. Right.
So
And
yeah,
yeah, I that's a great inspiration. XQC you mentioned, a good streamer, all these other streamers, and
hmm
yeah, good role models that you'd look up to. Melody, I know you do art, or I guess even life. I guess. Do you have a role model?
Um, I don't really have like as celebrity wise or content creators.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
could be your
have an
family.
inspiration.
Yeah.
I don't really attach myself to celebrities or entertainers. Because I know that they're human at the end of the day, and I don't want to put them in a high place in my life where I
Right.
view them as an idol, right? I want to hold them accountable for what they've done. I don't want to have my bias feelings for them and like stop my morals of their way, right? So in life,
Right.
I draw my inspiration my family because all of my cousins and I are actually the first generation to be born in America. Everyone else was
Huh?
born in their own countries. And my mom came to America not knowing any English, as well as like every one of my family. Like they don't know English, and they had to have just like scrape up anything they can. And um, my mom tried to be in college when me and my sister were younger, and she couldn't do it because she couldn't be a mom and take care of the house and still be in college. So she dropped being in college to take care of
Oh.
me and my sister. And
Well, yeah.
I see, yeah,
You seem like
and
you
I
have a
see my
great
dad
mom.
working. Yeah, I really appreciate her and love her. And my dad works so many odd jobs at first, and then he started now doing towing, and it's very odd hours. So he leaves at like 6 p.m. and comes home at 9 a.m. and it's just they drive me to do good in academic wise and to motivate me to achieve my goals and to get a good job so I can help them in later in life.
Right.
hmm
Well, yeah. Um. Yeah. Your parents seem very like they seem like very good people, and they obviously raised a great child, and I think they're yeah they sound like a great two people. Now I think that's all the questions I really had for today. Once again, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day for coming on and letting me interview you. It's great to Quinn
yeah,
being a small creator, and Melody. You do all this in your personal life, and it's great to just get to aspects and views. So thank you so much for coming.
And thank you for having me.
it's yeah, same. Thank you. It's an honor. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, it was great talking to you, and I look forward to having both of you honestly back on possibly the podcast even. that'd be fun. But otherwise, thank you to both for coming on, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you. All the topics were really good.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. And yeah, and to the people watching, listening in, thank you guys for listening. And if you enjoyed it, please leave a like and consider subscribing. And in the comments, why don't you leave who you would like to see next, or who would you like to see come on next, and I'll see if I can make that happen. So with that being said, thank you to my two guests for coming on, and thank you guys for listening in, and we'll see you next week for another interview. Have a good day. Bye.